Hi, my name is Audrey. Happy New Year. Let me just finish getting set up here. Da-da-da. Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys can hear me all right. Give me a quick thumbs up or let me know in the chat. And yeah, I hope we're doing okay. So, sorry. I also switched computers and then like everything got reset and reformatted. So I'm still trying to like make sure all my settings are correct, but I think we're okay. All right. So hello again. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to be painting the numbers 2025 and yeah, just kind of talk about the new year and some of the goals that I have. And yeah, hi Linda. Thank you so much. Hello. So glad you guys are here. Okay. Um, yeah, first of all, tell me how you guys are doing. What are some art or creative goals that you have for this year? I would love to know because maybe I can try to help, in through my channel. Maybe I can create some special videos or yeah, we'll see. Um, okay, so first of all, in order to paint, so I used to do this every year. A couple years, I did it like on different pieces of paper, and then I lost it. And I was like, oh, of course, like I should have digitized it when I had the chance, but I didn't, and so that's on me. That's my fault. But yeah, I hold on a second. Oh, what happened? Okay. Yeah, and so let me show you. So this is my big, like really huge Strathmore like watercolor paper pad. And I've used this so randomly throughout the years. But the first time I painted the 2020 or like the year was for 2020. So this was my very first one. And then I know I did 2021. I just don't know where it is. And I know I did 2022. I don't know where it is. I don't know why I didn't, digitize them or save them or even just take a picture. I was like, what is wrong with me? Anyway, but then I did 2023. So yeah, so this is just kind of like my annual thing. I've been doing it every year. And while I do it, I just kind of reflect on, like I reflect on the previous year. And then I also, think about what's coming up. And yeah, it's just a way to like slow down and sort of reflect. Yeah. Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, so I have some other pages that you don't need to see. But today I have the 2025 already sketched out. And so, yeah, if you're curious about how I sketched this out, I mean, it's a little bit complicated. You can obviously just draw it yourself, but then I actually use my Cricut to create stencils. So I use stencil film and then I cut out like the individual numbers. So there's 2, 5, another 2, and then the 0. So then I just use these, put them on my watercolor paper, and then I trace them out with pencil. So you can see in this view, ta-da! Hopefully you also like my new setup. I changed up the graphics here. So yeah, let me know if you like it. I have like the little leaves like right here in the corners. Yeah. So anyway, so I went ahead and sketched it already because it's going to take me forever to sketch it. And oh, of course, I left my paints over here. Okay. Something else that I want to record a video about is to get a smaller watercolor palette. Well, actually, I already bought it. I just need to choose a couple of these colors and then put it in that palette, or just squeeze out more paints from my tubes because I think I've said it multiple times, but this watercolor pan is a bit bulky and my desk workspace is not that big, and it just takes up so much room. And especially today when I'm using this giant watercolor paper pad, you know, it just, again, just takes up way too much room. So I think the smaller little palettes are going to be really cute. Anyway, yeah, thank you, Linda. Anyway, before I go too far though, I do want to talk a little bit about, yeah, what's coming up. So I am going to release a video later this week about like what's coming up, especially in my shop, because my shop reopens tomorrow. Yay! But I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek as well. But I'm going to be talking a lot more in that video that's going to come out later this week. But anyway, so I have so I have technically 4 like big things happening. So I'll just quickly recap each of them. So first is the Valentine's Day collection / Galentine's Day. If you know what Galentine's Day is, let me know in the comments. Let's see if you guys know your Parks and Recreation TV show. Anyway, so Valentine's Day collection, I have like obviously lots of cards, and these are just some of the card designs that I painted, and then I always digitize them, and then I always add more to them. So this is just a quick sneak preview. And then the Valentine's Day collection is actually extra special because it's going to have gold foil details. I'm so excited about that. You guys know that I've been kind of, testing that out. So excited. The second piece of news is my bows and bow ties collection. So super, super cute. So if you like little like dainty, elegant, little touch of sophistication, like you are going to love these. So I painted all these bows, in different colors and bow ties, and so cute. So these are also going to be on, greeting cards, stickers, tote bags, and this is a new one, mugs. I'm so excited to be able to offer mugs. Yay. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. Oh, Linda, you don't know Parks and Recreation. That's okay. I'll give you guys, I'll let you guys know what it is. So basically, Galentine's Day started out as a fictional holiday, and it was created by the TV show Parks and Recreation. So Galentine's Day is the day before Valentine's Day, and so it's February 13th. So it's just a way for girls or women to celebrate other women. So if you have like, a favorite best friend, or, just like a group of girlfriends that you always hang out with, like that's a great way to sort of celebrate them, or celebrate like together. So yeah, it's just to empower one another, encourage one another. Yeah. So let me give you a quick preview of like what the gold looks like. Like, look how pretty that is. Okay, so those are just some really quick sneak peeks. Again, more in the studio vlog that's going to be released later. Oh, I highly recommend Parks and Rec. It's such a good show. It kind of gives you like Office vibes. So if you didn't like The Office, you might not like Parks and Recreation, but it's not as cringy as The Office. So I still recommend it. Anyway, the third piece of news is that I am going to delete a lot of designs from my shop. So I'm calling that Last Chance collection. So, yeah, I think there's over like 200, maybe 300 listings on my online shop. And that's a lot, It's very overwhelming, I think, from a customer's perspective to scroll through every single item. It's just too much. So, so my last chance collection is basically items that are going to basically disappear forever. I don't know when the deadline will be, or like the last date will be, but they will disappear eventually forever. And it's just a lot of my like much older designs that I don't that A, haven't really sold, or B, like I just don't feel like it reflects my current style, or the current, like, I don't know, art style that I'm in. Yeah, basically. So yeah. So if you see an item there that you're like, oh my God, like, I can't believe it's going to be gone forever, you need to grab it. And then the fourth thing is surprise art bundles. So you guys know that I've done a lot of art fairs this past year, and in order to do those, in-person art fairs or markets, whatever you want to call them, I had to buy a lot of inventory and create a lot of products. So as a result, I have accumulated a lot of inventory. So I also need to clear out the inventory that's currently in my studio. So the surprise art bundle will have 4 different sizes of bundles, and depending on which bundle you choose, you'll get a different array of items. The exact items will be a surprise, and that's why it's called surprise art bundle. The best part is that the price is going to be drastically reduced. So, like if the value is, for example, like $20, then you're probably only going to pay $5. Like it's going to be ridiculously like cheap. Okay, maybe not $5. I don't really remember what my price structure was, but tomorrow you'll see in the listing. So yeah, surprise art bundle. So you won't know what you're going to get exactly, but you'll know the type of products that you'll be getting. So this is a great way for me to, clear my inventory, and for you to also get a ton of goodies at a drastically reduced price. So be on the lookout. Okay. All right. That was a lot. Let's get into painting. um, all right, so I have this. I'm going to be using my regular watercolors, as you know. I also have the metallic watercolors. I've been using this, quite often in my live streams and my videos. So I'm going to do what I did for the 2021, which is, let me show you. So for the 2020, I like this one was actually like one of those like offset, like shadow beveled looks. So anyway, I outlined it with the gold. So I might do the same, because this one is like really like fat numbers. I mean, I love it. It's very bold and fat numbers. So I feel like having a nice gold outline around some of it, or maybe the whole thing, it might look really cool. So one of the first things I'm going to do is actually use my kneaded eraser and erase some of these lines. So one of the things I neglected to do in my setting up my live stream is actually import my music playlist. So it's going to be a little bit quiet here, but I hope you don't mind. But we will definitely just, talk and chat. Oh, you know what? Let me change the focus settings. All right. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any art goals for this year. And one of the things that I always talk about is, having goals is great, but at the same time, in order to achieve those goals, having specific, what's it called? Habits is probably more important. So if you do have a goal in mind, that's awesome. But then I'm going to challenge you to think about then what are some of the habits that you need to work on in order to achieve that goal. So like, for example, if you wanted to, so for example, for my goal last year was to learn how to paint with gouache. And so what I did was every Monday I put in my schedule, like I set aside 2 hours. Actually, I started out with 1 hour, but I started out with scheduling some time every week. And that's the schedule that worked for me, right? For some of you, it might just be once every 2 weeks or once every month, whatever your schedule is, that's fine. But yeah, I scheduled it and then I kept to it. Sometimes it was just reading about it. Sometimes it was like actually painting. Sometimes it was doing color studies or swatches. Like I didn't really have a schedule of like what I was going to do, but the fact that I, carved out time in my schedule to do it, that was the habit that I was building. So I was constantly going back to my gouache every single week. All right. Oh boy. This is a lot. Okay, I'm going to come back to my metallic watercolors later. See, this is what I mean. This paper is so ginormous. Okay, what color scheme should I do? I think I'm gonna do like pinks. I think just because I'm in the mood with like Valentine's Day and stuff. So I think I'm gonna do like pink and green flowers. Can never go wrong with that color scheme. Oops. I just dipped this end of my brush into my water. That was smart. Oh my goodness. On another note, my brushes need so much TLC. So much. Okay. Trying to figure out which brush I can use. This is a round size 3. Here's a round size 2. These are some of my favorites. I'm going to start out with these two just because even though these numbers are pretty like wide and fat, yeah, I think I'm still going to have to use my smaller brush. So I love to use my spray bottle. Oh, you know what? I'll use these colors that I actually use for my bows and bow ties collection and my Valentine's Day cards. So it'll be the same color scheme. Oh, I love it. All right, I'm just going to do like a series of roses and leaves and like small little flowers. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Is anyone trying like a new art medium? Like maybe you've been doing watercolor for a while, but then this is the year that you're going to do something different. Maybe. Let me know. I do like Strathmore paper. I feel like there's like a lot of, I don't know what to call it. Well, yeah, tooth, like a lot of graininess to it. So it really holds on to the paint like really well. Well, this is a cold pressed. So oh my gosh, I forgot to set up my phone. One moment. On another note, I don't know what I'm going to do once TikTok like goes away. I know a lot of people are talking about it being banned and everything. And I did send out an email asking people like, oh, like, do you guys like, short form content more or, like long form content more? So I would love to know what you guys think too. Like, do you like, yeah, watching like longer form videos and because it's like, beneficial or helpful? Or do you like the reels just because they're like fun and entertaining? Or actually, do you like blog posts? I know some people are still, more like readers and they would rather do that. So I would love to know. Hi CJ, hi Carol. Thank you so much for being here. That's all right. You don't have to apologize. I really appreciate it. We're just painting some flowers and talking about the new year. So, one of the things that I definitely want to do this year, and I think I mentioned it last year too, and it was actually a goal from last year that I just didn't get to, that I didn't get around to doing, but that is creating a watercolor workbook. And I think I really, really want to make that a priority this year because that was a workbook was one of my first products ever. That's actually what sort of launched my whole like watercolor teaching career. And it was because people found it really easy to learn from me. And I think like at that time, not that I was one of the first, definitely not, but I think I made it like really easy to understand. And yeah, people really liked it. And then I kind of pivoted to doing, classes and more online content rather than like written format. So it changed a little bit, but yeah, I know that that is one of my strengths. So I still kind of want to get back into it. So yeah, watercolor workbooks, but the trouble that I'm sort of running into is I don't know if I want it to be where you can paint directly in it or if it's purely instructional. You know what I mean? So let me know what you guys think. Like, would you want a watercolor workbook specifically from me, you know, that is more of instructional, where you have to paint in a on paper separate from the workbook, or would you rather paint in the workbook? Okay, let me know. Let me know. All right, I'm going to pause here and add some leaves because it's starting to look a little weird. One of my favorite greens. Love, love, love this green. I think there are definitely pros and cons to doing, you know, painting like inside the workbook. I think a lot of people are afraid of, like messing up. And then some people are, hold on, sorry. I like can't paint and talk at the same time. Um, yeah, I think that's probably the most common like issue that I've heard so far. People are like, "Oh, like I don't want to like mess up the book." Like if I mess up, sometimes I want to like rip off the sheet. So I don't want that to happen, right? Um, yeah. Okay, like the video for learning about art. Okay, that's good to know, ZJ. Yeah, I think videos are definitely helpful. I think when you see it, it's a lot easier to follow along. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. I'm leaving some gaps in the middle, and I always give this advice because if you start to fill up too much in the beginning, then it's really hard to go back. So always leave a little bit of a gap here and there because you never know how you want to fill it up later. I'm also going to use a different colored or a different hue of green later on. But for now, I'm just doing this one. All right. I also just realized this is going to take me forever to paint. But I'm going to stop there for now with the two. I know it looks like a hot mess. Or you know what? Maybe I'll keep going just so I can see how I'm going to fill in the rest of it. So I'm going to grab, I'm going to grab that same peachy color that I used earlier, and I'm going to use that to just kind of like dot around. Okay, now you can sort of see the shape a little bit more. I'm going to use my colored pencil just because I'm a little impatient and don't want to wait for the paint to dry. I'm going to use this to make some little branches. Well, that's another thing. I definitely want to explore more of like mixed media. I just realized I didn't put any dots in this little area. So yeah, what do you guys think? Watercolor workbooks. Yay or nay? And if yay, then, oops, I grabbed the wrong green. And if yay, then, do you like to paint inside or outside? I'm going to use my smaller brush for this different green color. I'm using kind of like a sap green color. I'm going to do very skinny leaves. And this will definitely help fill in all of the tiny little spaces that are in here. Maybe I don't need the gold outline. I don't know. It's looking really good, so I don't know. Let's see, Carol, thank you for your comment or your chat. So I'd like a workbook. We'll have to think about it if I'd like to paint in the book or not. I'll get back to you. Thank you, Carol. Thank you for your comment. Yeah, I would definitely appreciate your insight because it's really it's really hard, you know, like I really want to make sure that it's something that you guys actually would want and use, but at the same time, um, like I also need to think about like if I am able to make it, because my hope is that I'm going to actually make the workbook here. I know a lot of people have publishers and are fortunate enough to have, um, yeah, like an outside printer. I am not in that position, so I would have to make it myself. But I want to make sure that it is something that is, yeah, still helpful to you. Like, I don't want to do whatever is just easy for me. You know what I mean? So, wow, I really like this too. This too. I'm going to keep going then. Let's keep going with the 0. Ooh. You know what? I think the gold actually will help because these gaps in between the, you know, letter forms or the number forms is a little small. So unless you're really looking at it intently, it might be kind of hard to see those gaps. So outlining it with gold will be the cherry on top. All right, let's keep going. I'm gonna try to go a little faster. I think I was going a little slower because I wasn't sure exactly what I'm doing. But now that I have a template for what I want it to look like, I think it'll go a lot faster. Yeah, I think I also want the workbook to be like almost kid friendly, almost. Like I think it's really hard to make anything like super kid friendly because like each child is so different and you know, yeah. But I want it to be simple enough for, yeah, children to be able to like follow along. I have a couple friends whose like children have followed me on Instagram or not Instagram, like on YouTube and have watched my videos. And I'm always like touched that, you know, that they're trying out my tutorials and like having fun with them. Like that makes me so happy. So, so happy. So, yes, a watercolor workbook is definitely one of my big goals for this year. Another big goal for this year is I want to be able to sell my original art. And that is so daunting to me because it's actually been a really long time since I've sold original art. I think a lot of the times I'm painting, yeah, just for me or it's for a tutorial. And I'm not really thinking about like making it, perfecting it, like all of that, you know? And so that was, yeah, that was really hard for me to kind of like agree to or not agree to because it sounds like I'm doing it because someone told me to. But in a way, some people did ask me like if they're able to buy my original art, and I've always had to say no. And not because I don't want to give them my art, but just because I wasn't in a position to have original artwork ready for sale. So, yeah, I decided, I really thought about it and I realized that my hesitation for not selling original art wasn't necessarily because I didn't want to or because I didn't think that my stuff wasn't good enough. It was really just because I didn't have enough time. And that is such a lame excuse. I'm sorry, but that's such a lame excuse. And I was like, I don't even have time to like create regular tutorials. Like, how am I supposed to have time to paint original paintings, you know? And so I think that was my excuse. And I think that excuse also comes from just feeling like I don't have enough time in general. So I was like, that's not a good enough reason to not consider it. And so I decided to add it to my list. And it doesn't mean that I have to fulfill it, you know, it's just something to to aspire to do. So that's why it's on the list. Um, yeah, but I'm not gonna, you know, beat myself up over it if I don't accomplish it. But that would be nice. I think I'm debating whether or not to make it so that it'll be framed and matted. I'm not sure about that yet, but for now, yeah, I have set aside some time to like actually paint original paintings because again, that was my hang up for not selling or not having original artwork to sell. So I already scheduled some time in my calendar. So now it's just a matter of, yeah, taking that time and battling with my inner critic and my self doubt, and then actually just do it. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. My goal is five paintings. I don't know why I said five. I actually don't know why I did that. I think I thought five was a nice number. I think realistically, I might sell or have the energy to create like three. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure what they'll be about just yet. I'm leaning towards like landscapes, but I really don't know. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. I love this, like, I love this color scheme. Okay. I'm gonna add the peach little dots. All right. And then let's add okay. And now for the smaller, daintier leaves. Yeah, so when I think about 2025, I'm definitely really excited. I think I shared in my email for January that this will be my 8th year, wow, of being in this business, and I've definitely learned a lot. I've also messed up a lot. And I'm really, really thankful for those of you that have stuck with me ever since the beginning. You know who you are. Um, Especially those of you who also started following me during the pandemic or even during my live streams that I started last year or 2 years ago now. Yeah, it just means so much to me that yeah, you just take your, time out of your day to like look at my stuff and like appreciate what I'm doing. Like it means so much. Like there are some certain people that I also follow, pretty regularly, and yeah, that I'm a huge fan of. And so it's mind-boggling to me to think that there are some of you that do that with my content. I'm like, what? Like it definitely makes me feel really special. So thank you. Thank you. I also appreciate like every single comment. Um, just, yeah, just everything. I know that I do not take it for granted. I really don't. I am I'm very lucky. Um, yeah, to be able to do it, what I do right now. Yeah. One of the last things I wanted to mention is that for a limited time, I think, yeah, I don't know when I'm going to close it, but um, what's going on in LA right now is terrifying and it is so devastating. And even though I don't have, like, I don't have any family there or anything, but I know there's a lot of, artists. There's like I have a few friends and friends of friends, that are all in that area. And so like there's so much need, and there's only so much that one person can do. But one of the things that I am committed to doing is like the sales that I make this week, I'm going to be donating it to a an organization, which I'll talk about in just a moment. And like 10% of the sales will go to yeah, will go to that organization. So the organization is called Best Friends Animal Society, and it's a rescue. Well, so they have multiple campuses or multiple locations, but right now they have an emergency response team in LA because they actually have a location in LA, and they are working on, relocating some of the pets that are being rescued from the homes in LA, and then they are also helping to like help get those pets adopted, and yeah, and then are also aiding with the rescue of those pets as well. So yeah, obviously, I have a very soft spot for animals and pets, and I think, yeah, like they have no idea what's going on, and they are just as much victims. And yeah, I saw a couple videos the other day of a dog getting reunited with his owner after 5 days. And I'm like, oh my God. And I just started bawling right away. Like I can only imagine just how scared that cat, or not that the cat, it was a dog, how scared that dog was. And, how ecstatic, relieved he must have felt, after seeing his owner again. So, yeah, so that's the organization I chose to donate to. So, if you do purchase from my shop, especially this week, just because it's more of an urgent matter, 10% of your sales will go towards helping the Best Friends Animal Society. Yeah, so I hope you will consider, yeah, purchasing. And yeah, like we can all do our part. I'm not a firefighter. I'm not in LA, but we can still help out, in whatever way that we can. So this is my small way of being able to help. Yeah. And if you do have family, or, if you know of people who have been displaced, I'm so sorry. Like, it's so scary. Oops, sorry. I will also um, mute my notifications. Um, yeah, it's really scary. And I can't imagine just, yeah, my husband and I were just talking about it the other day. We're like, how would we be? I mean, I know we'll be okay. I know we'll survive. But just thinking about starting over, like completely, is just, it's unimaginable. It's really scary. Yeah. Oh, I just realized I didn't really add any details to the zero, like in the rows, I mean. So I'm going to just quickly do that. Oh, thank you, Linda. Yes, the 2 and the 0 are beautiful. Thank you. Well, just you wait. Once I add the gold details, I think it'll be even prettier. Oh, the leaves. Oops. Leaves first. Yeah. Sorry, I'm still thinking about, yeah, the fires that are going on. Like, it's just, it's really scary. And um, yeah. I think another thing that I think about is that, you know, people are extremely, um, what's that word? Resilient? Is that the right word? Yeah, I think about, um, you know, people who have had to start over, or I even think about, um, like immigrant families, like even my own parents who came to the U.S. with not a lot of money, and you know, they made something out of nothing. I Like at the moment, it's so scary to think that, you know, you've lost basically everything. Um, and it is absolutely devastating and super sad. Um, but at the same time, I know that there is beauty that can come from it, um, that there's always hope, you know, and that's what I'm hoping that will come out of this. Right now, we're just in the thick of it, and they just need help. They need aid. They need relief. They need these fires to like seriously stop. Um, but at the same time, yeah, we need to think about like also offering hope. And you know, if you're the type of person that, you know, if you um, you know, like believes in good vibes or prayers, or, you know, like I think all of that is just so needed right now, and just compassion. You know, the other day I randomly thought about, um, during high school, Hurricane Katrina happened. And I remember a couple students ended up joining my youth group because they had been displaced by the hurricane, and they had family who lived in the Chicagoland area where I live. And so they joined our youth group, and I remember like they literally came with nothing, you know, with just a suitcase. And the suitcase wasn't even like, you know, they just didn't have a lot. And then they were living with a family, you know, or their family, but it was already crowded at their house, you know. And And that was so many years ago, 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago. And some of them are now married. They have, they have kids. They are flourishing in life. And again, not to say that, what they went through was really, really difficult. I can't imagine also as a teenager losing literally everything. But they also, didn't give up. They had hope. And yeah, I'm, I'm just reminded of, like what they went through, and how good it is and how important it is, to not lose hope. Ooh, I'm almost done. Well, at least with the painting part. I still need to do the outline. And yeah, I think I'm going to finally, oh, you know what? I think I didn't digitize this because it was on a, on a sheet of paper that was just way too big. I think maybe that's why. Probably could have at least like taken a picture, but yeah, I'm not sure why I didn't do that. Who knows? All right. Yay! Okay. Last but not least, let's do the 5. Oh man, this is going to be a long one. That's okay. I mean, if you guys have to bounce, I will not be offended, of course. But if you're able to stick around, that would be awesome too. Yeah, as always, let me know if you guys have any questions, if you're just curious, get to know me. This is a good time to, ask any questions because you have my almost undivided attention. I guess maybe I'll ask a fun question. What's a fun like Valentine's Day gift? I know it's kind of early, but it's never too early because if you have to order something, you probably need to do it now. But yeah, what's a fun Valentine's Day gift idea? Not something, and actually, let me rephrase that. What is a useful but also fun Valentine's Day gift idea? I think anything personalized, right, is always a good idea. But is that, what people actually want? For me, I usually just want, like, I really appreciate flowers. I don't always get flowers. I used to buy it a lot, like when I was single, because it would just kind of, give me joy. And I kind of liked like putting it together in my house. So I would just buy, random floral elements from Trader Joe's, and I would arrange my own little, bouquet in a vase. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, I don't really do that anymore. But I still appreciate like getting flowers. I'm pretty simple, and I don't think my love language is receiving gifts. Like I would rather go, actually, well, gifts as in like if they got me like a ticket to go like do an experience, or not just by myself, together, obviously. So I remember like when my husband and I were dating, he took us to go to that Van Gogh exhibit, that immersive Van Gogh exhibit. And that was kind of cool. It was definitely different. And I'd never done something like that before. So that was really neat. Yeah, but I like experiences like that. Or maybe another question for you guys is what's the best anniversary or not anniversary? What's the best Valentine's Day gift that you have received? Maybe that will help you answer. Okay. Linda, thank you. Thanks for sticking around. Thank you. Hi guys, if you're still sticking around, please make sure to, give this video a like. And I don't always ask for this, but yeah, if you really like what you're seeing, please, use that Ko-fi link to send me some support. I would really appreciate that. Okay. Thank you, Linda. Oh, thank you. Okay. Hi, Caitlin. Thank you. Looking forward to your shop reopening. I really appreciate that. Caitlin, you have been a repeat customer. I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Chocolate is always good. Yes, chocolate is always a good idea. I feel like during the Christmas season, a lot of people also gift the Ferrero Rocher. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably butchering it, but they always, kind of, yeah, default to that chocolate. And so someone gifted us like a huge box of that, and I mean, it took us like almost a month to finish it, but my husband and I finally finished it. And there were so many different flavors. There was like caramel, there was a coconut. I'm not a fan of coconut, but yeah, there were so many different flavors. All right, I am almost done with the numbers. Oh my goodness. This took a lot longer than I thought. That's okay. It was actually very like meditative, and yeah, it was kind of nice to sort of just focus on the little details, and yeah, I really liked it. Hi, Sherry. Oh, you love salted caramel chocolate? Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. Anything salted chocolate. Wow. I love it when I can also like uh like actually crunch on the salt. Like that texture is so fun. I also love like when they combine like raspberry or citrus, and yeah, I feel like that also adds a different element, and it just makes the chocolate taste that much better. So yes, I agree. All of the above. Oh, I forgot to add details on the flowers again. Really quickly. Okay. Okay, well, I guess chocolate is still in, so I will definitely consider that. My husband definitely has a sweet tooth as well, so I know he would appreciate chocolate. Okay, all right, best time. Now we got to add the gold. All right. This time I might be like turning my paper all sorts of weird angles. Let me see. I don't have my palette, or the palette's right here. I don't have my, um, gosh, what is it called? Swatch card. I was like, what am I thinking of on me? But I think I'm going to use the fairy dust. I think the fairy dust might work out really nicely with this. Ah, or I don't know, maybe this one, maybe the saffron gold. They're both so pretty. Okay. Thank you, Linda. Okay. I don't know. They're both so, so pretty. I'm going to do the saffron gold. Mostly because I think it's a little bit thicker, and I feel like it might show up really nicely. Again, what I love about this brand, Mab Watercolors, I believe the link is in the description box. What I love about her metallic watercolor paint is that they actually show up really beautifully on white watercolor paper. Sometimes metallic watercolors only look nice on dark paper, and yeah, that's not always preferred, because first of all, black watercolor paper is hard to find. And even if you have black watercolor paper, usually you have to paint with like gouache or paint with acrylics in order for the paint to even be seen. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's not as easy to use. I'm trying to do the thinnest line possible because I really don't want to take away from the flowers. So I'm using just a tip of my brush to apply this and going very slowly. Eee. Some lines are a little bit thicker than others. That's okay. I'm like kind of holding my breath because I really don't want to mess up. After all this, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Okay, yeah, just that tiny little bit of outline. I'm glad I kept my line really, really thin because I really didn't want to overpower the flowers because I really want the flowers to be what shines, you know? How do you like that? Right? Just that little bit. You can sort of see the shine. Maybe, maybe not. It might be hard to see on the screen. But it looks like I just have like a gold string around the numbers or something. It's so subtle. I mean, I love it. Oh, I messed up a little bit there. That's okay. That's okay. Keep going. Oh, yeah. Okay, almost there, almost there. I gotta do another two. Definitely gonna have to order more of her watercolor paints or the metallics because the sample set does go a long way, honestly. But I think once you kind of find colors that you really love, yeah, I'm gonna have to restock. Sorry, I'm like really concentrating right now. I promise I'll have some music next week. For those of you who missed the beginning, yeah, I had to reformat my computer and then my programs and all the settings that were, were in there before all got erased. So I had to basically redo everything. And then I did work on that today, but I just neglected to add the music. Oop, that one was definitely too thick. That's okay. There are a couple areas also where I lost track of the pencil line. So I might go back in there and just kind of cover that up with a leaf or something. Thank you so much. Thank you. Again, make sure to follow, subscribe to my channel, like this video. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. All right. This is the final stretch. Here we go. Yay! Oh, wow. That definitely didn't take me forever. Okay, so I'm just going to cover up this one little area. Done. Oh my goodness. All right. Let me show you. Let me see if I can bring it up a little bit so you can see the slight sparkle. Ooh, you can see it a little bit better in the areas where it was a little thicker. So if I'm so inclined, maybe I'll go back in there. But look how shimmery it is, like right here on this inner part of the 5. Look at that shimmer. Oh my gosh, it's just like endless shimmer. Oh my God, I can't. So pretty. Alrighty. Well, this is a great project for, if you just want to unwind and, work on something while you think about, this upcoming year or this year. It's already here. But here it is in this format. Yay. Let me just get a screenshot real quick. Let me grab my, yay. Yay. No, let me hold it this way actually. Yeah, so now you can sort of see like the actual like blank areas. Yeah, so it looks a little bit better. I am so happy with how this turned out. I think the slight, like gold outline like really makes it stand out. And I feel like the pink is like just like pops out at you. Yeah. Well, I have high hopes for 2025. I hope that it's going to be, well, my word for this year is perseverance. And I forgot to talk about that when I was talking about how this is my 8th year in business. My word for this year is perseverance. I think when you own your own business, and everything kind of like relies on you, it's really easy to run out of steam and eventually give up, And sometimes you need to because maybe it's not thriving and you're losing money, right? So sometimes you do need to stop and move on to something else. But if it is going pretty well, and you have new ideas and new adventures that you want to go on, then I think it's hard to just keep going. It's hard to stay motivated sometimes, and it's really easy to burn out. So my word is persevere so that I can remind myself to not fall into those traps, to build in times of self-care and, like renewing and, working on those goals and habits without, working too hard, I guess, or like working to the point where I'm burning out. Yeah. So that's my word, 2025. Let's get it. Thank you so much. Hi, Rita. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you for sticking around this long. Again, please make sure to give this video a like. Next week, I'll be live Monday, same time, 8 p.m. Central. And have a wonderful week. I'll see you guys then. Bye.